Hey everybody, Mark Noble here with a No More Down Low news break. We are in the Hollywood Los Feliz section of Los Angeles at a Grammy-sized marriage celebration. We are with one of the couples who said, "I do," as 28.5 million people looked on.
To walk out into, an auditorium of, thousands and thousands of people who, stood and cried and clapped, and it was good.
DL Chronicles creators and directors Quincy and Deondray were the toast of the town. No More Down Low was exclusively there as the creme de la creme of black LGBT Hollywood and their allies celebrated their nuptials just one day after saying their vows at the 56th annual Grammy Awards telecast. How did you guys get selected? How did this come about?
Just extremely lucky. Basically, shout out to Kassan, a very good friend of ours, who's a dancer. You've seen him on
Phenomenal
everything.
dancer.
Phenomenal dancer. He's danced with
Beyonce, everybody.
And he's friends with one of the casting people that work down at the casting firm. And they just threw out this wide net and said, "Do you know of any gay couples who are engaged, close to engaged, looking to get married soon?" And Kassan said, "I know just the people." And went from there. Very good.
How long did you all have to keep this a secret?
Too long. It was hard.
Since almost a month now.
In the last 24 hours, describe for me, guys, what the reaction has been, positive and not so positive.
That's what's so crazy. The positive stuff has been incredibly overwhelming. I mean, we woke up this morning to interview on Huffington Post, people celebrating us, Advocate Magazine, TMZ, GLAD. It's been great. There's been some negative stuff, but it's not as loud as I thought it would be. I mean, I got some some vulgar comments this morning on Twitter, but completely tame, and it's nothing haven't seen before with our show for DL Chronicles. I was like, I expected a big collapse, and it's been pretty mild. It's been predominantly just love and support, and that's what's been incredible.
Do you know the number of people that watched and witnessed what you did? More than 28.5 million people watched you guys share and say your I do's.
I did not know that. I did not. That's incredible. I think that's sort of the reason why. Because we don't get us wrong, we were completely reluctant when we were first asked, because it was very vague and we didn't want to be exploited and we didn't want it to be this kind of stunt. And as we progressed through more, as they would give us more information, we started to understand, this is bigger than me and him. Anytime we get a chance to stand up and represent and give kids, we were talking to friends last night, I wish that I could have seen this when I was growing up and watched young men of my color, my complexion, and profess their love for each other. I would have had a different approach to my walk. And so I knew I had to do it for not just us, but for them. And so I'm starting to understand that fully today. My phone is buzzing. It's been buzzing as I'm sitting here talking to you.
Battery keeps dying
and
every hour.
There's kids that I don't know, that are saying, "You don't know what you did for me." And it's funny because I watched the segment and we're just pops of, we're just flashes.
We're there for like a millisecond.
But young African American boys struggling are seeing that, they don't care. They're seeing two men of color getting married and they're saying, "That's me. There I am. And I'm gonna be okay." So
I'm more surprised at the response that I've received from straight people who, some I knew, some I didn't know, some family members who I've only just connected with and met, that I didn't know how they would respond to seeing me get married on television, two guys get married on television, and so it's even beyond just our own community, it's resonating. It's resonating, and that is beyond what I could have ever imagined.
And I get to say Queen Latifah married me. She signed my marriage certificate. It was and to see the look on her face, to be able to do this, she was truly elated.
She was very
she said while she was sitting there, this is probably the most important thing she's probably ever done in her career, and I thought, Yeah, it is.
She was genuinely excited for us.
And during our interview with Quincy and Deondray, the other African-American couple featured prominently on the broadcast, Jamal and Octavius Terry Sims, arrived to join in the celebration.
So I think it was something bigger than what we could have imagined, and that's why we were there.
And they were there, and
Yeah.
Queen was there.
Yeah, and I think we put a different face on it because we actually talked to CBS this morning, and that was one of the things that came up was that just men of color, the ones that they've been able to see, nobody's had an example, and I didn't have an example of us growing up, and I knew that that was one of the reasons why I wasn't gonna mess up the secret, because I was like, they need to see us and know that we're here and we're not invisible, you know what I mean? And we're not wearing heels. Some of us are, but there's nothing wrong with that. But there's whole nother group of men that are just who we are, you know? Yeah.
I celebrate the four of you. I celebrate your courage. I celebrate the stand that you took.
Yes.
And I celebrate your love.
All right.
And I am proud.
Oh.
Deep breath.
Breathe it out.
I'm really proud to love you all. You are my brothers.
Amen.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
To hear more of the unedited interviews with Quincy, Deondray, Jamal, and Octavius, go to the No More Down Low website. In the meantime, in the Hollywood Los Feliz section of Los Angeles, I am Mark Noble with this No More Down Low news break.